Hi, I'm Tom with BFID channel, and in this tutorial for Revit I will show you how to create two-dimensional parametric family where you can change the number of objects in the family in the x-axis and in the y-axis, and also you can easily change the distances between the rows and the columns in the family. This family can then be used for any object that you want to have in a two-dimensional parametric family. So it could be used for chairs, for sprinklers, for trees, or any other objects that you wish. If you are not interested in how to create such a family and you just want to use it in your project, you can download it on my Gumroad eShop, and it's available for free. The link will be in the description box below. So let's get to the creation of our family. First, let me start with schematic description of the family that we will be creating, because it's not that simple. First, we will start with the nested family, which includes the object that we want to have in the two-dimensional parametric array. So this can be standard family with chair, sprinkler, or tree. We will use just a simple cylinder as a placeholder in this tutorial. Then we will nest this family into another family where we will create an array which will be only in direction, in the x direction. That means horizontal from left to right. Then this family will be again nested into another family where we will create array in the y direction from this family. Y direction is the vertical from bottom to top. We are doing it in this kind of nested way because you cannot do the x and y direction, array direction, parametric way in one step. So you have to use this workaround, nest one family into another, and this is the final family that we will be creating, and you can load this family into your project and use it in any project that you wish. So let's start working in our Revit. So we will create a new family. It will be the placeholder family. So I click new, select English, and it will be metric generic model. I'll click OK. And here first I will save this family, and I will save it to desktop and name it placeholder family. Save that, and here I will just create a simple extrusion so I have something to work with. Let's make it this big. So yeah, this is basically our family is just a simple cylinder, and let's save it again. Now let's make another new family. So let's hit new family, and it will be again the generic model, and again let's save it at first to the desktop, and it will be X array family because this one will be just the array in the X direction. And I will close all of the open views, so I've got only these two open, and I will nest this family or load it, the cylinder, into the X array family. So I will load it and close and place it anywhere you want. It doesn't matter for now. Now let's just place the cylinder. So align it to the center, lock it, and align it to the center, lock it. And let's make just an array, and it can be number 2. And just click here and here, those can be 2. So now we've got this array and we can easily change it, and we will make this parametric. The first thing that we will make parametric is the distance between those two objects and the each next one. And it's good practice not to make parameters between objects, but between reference planes. So I will create a new reference plane. It can be weak reference plane. That's okay. I will draw one here. Then I will create dimension from this one to here. And this will be our parameter. So I will name it X array distance, and it will be this one will be nested, so in the nested family. I will choose for it to be instance. It depends on how you want to use the family, whether you prefer to have type or instance. I choose instance, and I will leave it as a group in the dimensions group. I'll click OK, and now I will align this second object to this reference plane. So again, hit align reference plane to this object and lock it. That's important to lock it so it stays that way. Now if we try to flex, I will block the number there. If we try to flex the family, you can see that once this one moves 1000 millimeters from here, or units from here, this one moves to, you can see I change it to 500, all of them change. Now we have to make also the number of objects in the array parametric. So if I click on one of the objects, you can see the number here, which I can change. And if I click not the number, but just this line, you can see here that I can modify the array. And here in the label, I can choose to add parameter to the number. So I will name it X array count, and it's also nested. Again, I will make it an instance, and I will group it under the same group, so dimensions. Okay, so now if we flex the family, we can choose different count. If I change it to 6, hit apply, there's number 6. If I change the distance, hit apply, the distance changes to 1000. So it works okay. I will save the family now, and I will create our the third family, which will be the final family that we can then insert into our project. So it will be again the metric generic model. And once it's open, let's close those unnecessary tabs and let's save this family, and let's name it 2D parametric family. Hit save, and into this family we will load the family that we created. So let's load it into project and click somewhere here. It doesn't really matter where it is. So we've got it here. And first let's again align so it will be in the center, the first point. Align here, lock it, align here and lock it. And you can see that if I select this nested family, the dimensions group includes X array count and X array distance, and if I change it to 3, it changes the number just to 3. If I change the distance to 500, it changes the number. So it works fine. And so now with this whole family, we will again make parametric array in the Y direction again. It's the same procedure, so now we already know that we will need a reference plane. Again, it can be weak reference. Let's leave it that way. Let's draw a reference plane. Let's draw a dimension, which I will immediately create a new parameter, and I will name it array Y distance. Oops, sorry. And I will make it an instance parameter. It's grouped under dimensions, and let's hit OK. So this one is created. And so let's select the family, create array, copy, let's say from here to here. Let's leave the number at 2. And now we can align to this reference plane, this object, lock it. And now let's make the number parametric. So select this line, don't click on the number, select the line, and again add parameter and name it array y count. Let's make it instance and group it under the dimensions. Okay, let's try flexing the family so we see that it works. I will first lock these numbers and let's change the distance to 1000. It works. Let's change the distance back to 500 and number to 4. Hit apply, so it creates four rows. Now you can see that in this family now I don't have the parameters to change this family, the number of columns. I would have to edit the group, click this family, and I have the parameters here, but I cannot reach them from within this family, the 2D parametric family. So I have to kind of nest the parameters of this family. So how do I do that? First, I select one of the arrays and choose edit group. Now I will select the original family, and you can see it's the X array distance nested and X array count nested. And here you've got these 3 buttons, and if I click these 3 buttons, I can create a new parameter in this family that this nested parameter will be linked into. So I will create a new parameter which I will name array underscore x, and it will be count, and I will make it instance, and let's put it into the dimensions. Hit OK, and I will select so that this parameter is linked to this parameter or nested. Okay, so now you can see that I cannot change this parameter here, it's kind of grayed out. I will do the same with the distance. So I will create a new parameter and I will name it array underscore x distance, and it will be instance, and I will leave it under the dimensions. So I create a new parameter and then link this one to the one that I selected, this one here. So again, I cannot change it here. If I now close editing of this group, I hit finish. Now if I take a look at my 2D parametric family into the family type, you can see that I've got array x count and array x distance, and I will lock those numbers. And if I change the number to 5, it changes the number inside of the nested family. And also if I change the distance, it changes the distance in the array family. So let's change the numbers to some default ones and save the family. So the family should be ready if I create a new project, architectural project, and I load this family into the project and I place it somewhere here. And if I click on the family, you can see that there are these type parameters under the dimensions group, and if we change the x count to 4, it changes the number to 4. If we change the distance to 1000, it changes to 1000. You can also see it in the 3D view. If I choose the shaded ones, now if I select the family and I choose the count to in the y-axis to 25, you can see that immediately I've got an array of 25 by 4. So this is basically how this family works, but we can tune it a little bit more. What I like to do is create dimensions between these objects, and now you can see that even if I hit tab, there's no axis to snap here. So here I could do, dimensions between the corners of the geometry, like from this point to this point. But usually in these cases I want to make the dimensions from axis to axis, and if I've got a family that doesn't have any geometry at the axis, this is problematic. So I want to make the family to be able to dimension between two axes. We do that, and it's a bit tedious. In the family, we have to make this reference plane part of the array, so it will be copied with each instance. So first, what we do is we delete this reference plane. It messes up the family, but never mind. Now we create a new reference plane. We will place it somewhere here. It can be a weak reference plane, that's okay. And I will align this reference plane to here. I can even lock it, and I will hide this center reference plane for now. So let's temporarily hide the element so I can see only this reference plane, and I will place this reference plane into the array so it will be copied of how many numbers we chose. So how do I do that? I select the array, I choose edit group, and here I've got options to add or remove objects. So I choose add, select the reference plane, and then hit finish, and you can see that the reference plane is copied with the array. So even if I flex the family, so this is the Y count, if I hit 3, it's copied again here. And now we have to create a dimension because we deleted the dimension previously and added the parameter Y distance. And if we load this into our project and override the existing version, now if I try to create dimensions, I can create dimensions from here to here to here easily, no problem. But now I still don't have the possibility of creating the dimension from axis to axis in the X direction. So again, I will go back to this family and I will create a new reference plane. Again, it will be like this. I will align it to this one, hide this one, the large one, the original. So I've got only this visible. And I will create a new array just with this reference plane, and I will use the same parameters that I use for the family in the x-axis. So basically I will just select this one, and the label will be array x count, and the distance between these two, again, it can be set up as array x distance. And if I flex the family in the x, if I choose 1000 and hit apply, it moves the reference plane with the objects. If I change also the numbers, it changes also the number of reference planes. So if I load this into the project and override the existing family, when you mess with these families, the original dimensions sometimes mess up like this, but usually you won't be doing this when the family is already placed. So you can now easily dimension in the x-axis and in the y-axis. Now the last thing that I will show you is if you now have this with this placeholder, how to change it from a placeholder to something that you want, like a chair or a sprinkler or etc. You can download this family with the placeholder on my Gumroad page. The link is in the description box. But if I wanted, instead of these cylinders, if I, let's say, wanted to have these chairs there, how would I do that? So first, never mind. First, I will choose this family in my project, and I will edit the family. Now in this edited family, I will have to get into the nested family. So I will choose the group, choose edit group, choose this family, and then edit this nested family again. And in this nested family, I will have to do the same thing. Choose this group, edit group, and choose this family. So edit family. And now I'm in the original family where there's the placeholder, the cylinder that I created. And into this family, I will place the chair that I want to. So I think it's this one. Which one is it? Let's close all the unnecessary views, and it's this one. So I will load it into project and close, and I will load it into the placeholder family. That's important. I don't want to save changes of this one. I will place it here, the chair. I will delete the cylinder, the original extrusion, and I will place this new chair at the center. Lock it like this, lock it like this. And again, I will load it into project. And now you have to be careful into which family you load it first. And first, it was placed in the X array family, only in the family that creates array in the X direction. So I will load it into this one, override the existing version. You can see that it changed correctly. I will click finish and load this X array family into our 2D parametric family. So hit OK. Override existing version, and you can see there are these chairs here. Just to see, I have to spread them more, so I can see it even in the family editor that these are the chairs. But now if I load this family into any project that I want and overwrite it, you can see that now I've got all of these families, and I have to change the distances. Let's change it like this. If I wanted to spread the rows more, I'm not sure whether that's the Y distance. So I will select the Y distance. Let's spread the rows more, and let's make the chairs a bit closer. So like this. So now you can see that the chairs are nicely placed into your theater or a conference hall. So this is it for the 2D parametric array family tutorial. If you wanna try the finished family, you can download it on my Gumroad page. I hope you liked it. If you did, smash that like button and take care.